Now I'm going to be talking about a piece of BBC murderous propaganda which will go round the internet forever, murdering people. I'm Granniopteryx. All right, so this is becoming something of a famous example now. The BBC made a news report. You've probably heard of it. They had a Reuters report in front of them, and the report was as follows. November the 15th, Reuters. Israeli military said its forces were carrying out an operation on Wednesday against Hamas within Gaza's Shifa Hospital. The military said the IDF forces include medical teams and Arabic speakers who have undergone specified training to prepare for this complex and sensitive environment, with the intent that no harm is caused to civilians. That was the Reuters report. And what the BBC read out was as follows.
We are hearing from Reuters that is reporting that it says its forces are carrying out an operation against Hamas in Gaza's Shifa Hospital, and they are targeting people, including medical teams as well as Arab speakers.
Did you hear that? What this newsreader read out was that the IDF had announced it was going into the Shifa Hospital and targeting medical teams and Arab speakers. Pay attention to the wording of that.
We are hearing from Reuters that is reporting that it says its forces are carrying out an operation against Hamas in Gaza's Shifa Hospital, and they are targeting people, including medical teams as well as Arab speakers.
Right. So if we look at the phraseology, you will have heard that the newsreader was saying that the IDF announced it was targeting medical teams and Arab speakers. She specifically says Arab speakers, not Arabic speakers. It's actually difficult to know where to start with that. We assume they mean Arabic speakers, but it appears to have been put into English by someone who doesn't speak English too well. The second point is that everyone in that hospital is an Arabic speaker, surely. Just from that, anyone putting that up on the auto cue would know there's something wrong with that particular piece of, news. I don't suppose we can blame the newscaster unless she was found deliberately to have changed the text, but it's more likely she was just reading out what she'd been given. But the editor and the producer, they would have all have been back there, behind their glass panel. There's a whole team of people, including secretaries and script writers and that sort of thing. Someone should have smelt a rat if they'd had any sense at all. So I reckon it was deliberate. The reason I've taken a couple of days to talk about this was because I wanted to think about it for a while. I know sometimes in the pressure of getting out a breaking news report, mistakes can be made. And mistakes can be made even when you've had time to think about it. A missing letter changing the meaning of something. There are a couple of examples I remember. I saw in a newspaper once about a recently married couple, and there was a typo, possibly not entirely a mistake, which described the groom as a detective in the police farce. I'm not sure that was really a mistake. And I did hear of Yellow Pages being sued once when they misprinted a travel agency's advertisement, which should have been for exotic vacations, but they printed it as erotic vacations. And who can forget the incident of the Wicked Bible when in 1631 the royal printers published an edition of the newly compiled King James's Bible and forgot the word not from the seventh commandment, which should be, of course, thou shalt not commit adultery, and ended up commanding thou shalt commit adultery. They got into quite a lot of hot water for that. But we might consider that such mistakes are only human and will happen occasionally. How did the BBC manage to read something like the IDF will include medical teams and Arabic speakers who've undergone special training to prepare for this, with the intent that no harm is caused to civilians? How did they get that and relay it as the IDF are targeting medical teams and Arab speakers? It simply isn't possible. That was a mistake. And from the syntax, as I said, it appears to me that someone in the news department who didn't speak English so well wrote that up. Now, I know that in the BBC's drive to diversity, the BBC has made a great deal of effort to employ more Muslim or South Asian, or are they called Southeast Asian? Anyway, staff. And in some cases, that staff would have been given a pass on, well, competency in order to fill in the numbers and tick the boxes. And I'm wondering if this might be the work of one of those employees, and one with an attitude more inclined to the idea of proving Muslim victimhood than actually relaying news. Such reports as this will already have gone right round the Muslim world. But there's a big issue here, and this is the murderous quality. And I'm Granniopteryx, interrupting myself to ask you to click that like button, to subscribe to my channel, and if you're on YouTube, to click the notification bell. All the links to my other platforms are in the description, including links to donation sites. And if you want to donate, well, thank you very much. I always appreciate that. But you can help this video and my channel simply by clicking like. And it doesn't cost you a bean. Okay, back to that cesspit of the BBC. And to think I was so proud when I used to work for them. That report, the first report, the mistaken report, will have gone round the world. Now, they did issue an apology.
An apology from the BBC. BBC News, as it covered initial reports that Israeli forces has entered Gaza's main hospital. We said that medical teams and Arab speakers were being targeted. This was incorrect and misquoted a Reuters report.
They did issue that report, but that won't wash. It won't matter a bean, never mind a hill of beans. That first clip will be the truth that much of the Muslim world will grab onto and hold and use it as even more confirmation of their hatred of Jews. In 10 years' time, in 20 years' time, that first clip will still be doing the rounds, because that's what most of the Muslim world will want to believe. So that clip will definitely be responsible all on its own for murders and misery around the world forever. And that's what the BBC has done. Defund the BBC. That's all I can say. That's the most horrible thing. As I said, for maybe 2 days, I've been thinking about this and what I could say about it that might show it was an honest mistake. But no, I don't believe it was. Okay, till next time. Why not treat yourself or a favoured relative or friend to these magnificent examples of merch? The mugs and t-shirts come in the Granniopteryx design or Granbo with a firearm or the more deadly knitting needles. go to www.granniopteryx.com, and whatever platform you're watching this on, please click like, subscribe and share.